2.1. I'm going to go ahead and dive into the topic of building features on Quorum. If anybody's got any additional questions, I'm happy to answer them as they come up. I do have the X live feed and the Twitch live feed coming through on two different screens. It's a lot to juggle, but I'm trying my best here. So I have Quorum here, and Quorum, this is essentially a demonstration space. Quorum, as many of you have seen, is a alternative to Discord. It's got a very similar UI. Obviously, when you are typing things and sending things, it feels very much like the normal Discord experience, reactions, etc. The application is entirely, however, open source and encrypted end-to-end. So when you clone the Quorum desktop repository, it's actually the web application, but also has a Electron wrapper for it so that you can run it locally on your machine. You'll find obviously a very large code base, but you'll find the structure of it for the React-based application follows relatively common norms for how React-based applications are designed. And so we're going to do two different things here for tonight's stream. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and augment messages so that we can add a new type of message. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the actual message mapping side of things where we basically fork off of each type of message. And by the way, for people who are wanting to contribute to the code base, this is a place where you know, we could definitely use some refactoring because the message component has grown quite large and unwieldy. So this would be something that would be a good target for refactoring. But when you're adding a type, you essentially choose the type based on its stringified name. And then based on that, you choose how it is rendered. So for example, right now, there's only two types that we're supporting. One is text, and the other is an embed. Okay, how does it save messages for an account? So yeah, the way Quorum works is essentially each client is saving those messages. So for example, if you use Signal, this will feel very, very at home. Signal does a, basically it's a blind broker. When you send a message to it, it dispatches it to the relevant inboxes in such a way that it doesn't know who the sender is. And very similarly, we don't know who the sender is of a given message on Quorum either. And so those get bucketed into the appropriate inboxes. And then when a user comes online, they will fetch from those inboxes, decrypt it, and store it locally on, in this case, on the browser, on mobile and desktop, on, you know, whatever the local storage is for mobile or desktop as relevant. And you can actually see where this is happening yourself on the, where'd it go? On the MessageDB component. The MessageDB provider has all of the implementations. We'll actually dive deeper into this one because when we support new protocol message types, this is what we're going to be tacking onto. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a new type. Let's add stickers. So right now, there is no type for that, so we'll have to actually edit the given set of message types that exist. So when I get up here, you can see the collection of different content types that exist. We're going to add a sticker message. I'm going to go ahead and copy the reaction message type because it's very similar. And each one gives a unique type ID so that it makes it easy to break down the discriminated union of the combined type. And then sticker ID, and then that's basically all we need. Let me make sure that I'm not missing something. Oh, yeah. We need the replies to message ID as an optional Okay, and that's basically it. And so now we have this message type created, and then we're going to have a unique rendering of it. It's essentially the same thing as our existing embedded image approach. So let's go ahead and take that. We don't need the outside wrapper. What we do need is the, not reactions, the stickers object. And then we'll actually filter it down to the sticker ID and provide an image URL. This is not defined, so we'll have to add it. And it essentially follows the same thing as our custom emoji approach. So, and those are always custom, so I'll just call it stickers. And then we have to modify our message props to add that as well. Oh, actually I already created that, my bad. I actually don't even need that because this is already bounded. Okay, so let me go ahead and add that, get the reference in, and then we will support that. So because this is an optional type, it's not going to create any issues in validation. Let me check this real quick. And we need to change this. This isn't going to be an array. This is going to be a map. You can tell that I've been operating in a bunch of different languages because I have a bad tendency to flip around types and values. Okay, so we have that. Now we have that, and then it does not exist on type string. This is weird. Why is it still doing that? That is the right one. Let me make sure that this isn't just the TypeScript compiler being weird. Yes, sync loops are a known issue. They are being fixed. That'll be in the next update for Quorum. Oh, that's super weird. Okay, so now it... What the... Oh, right. That's why it's getting all screwy. Okay. Cool. Okay, now we have what we needed. All right, so now we have our sticker put in place. It'll render it when we provide it. So now the next thing we need to do is provide a way to add stickers to a space, and then from there add a means to post said stickers. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go to the space editor, which is where these particularly configurable values exist. And I'm going to copy the emojis payload because it's essentially the same thing, just in a different context. You can see that I already had some of this preloaded. the whole cookbook effect. And we're going to have a separate set of root props and input props for our drop zone. And the rest remains the same. Okay. So we'll need to add the new drop zone for it. Okay. And then I'll have the same thing for this here. And then finally we will, oh, we already passed it in before. Okay, so no more work that needs to be done there. All right, so let's go ahead and, wait, I see that there's an error here. Let's make sure that this isn't something, oh, okay, that's minor. All right, so now we have this. We have our demo space. Let's edit the space. Oh, right, we need to expose it. So we have this button to set our category to emojis. We'll do the same here for stickers. Now we have stickers. Now we have our custom stickers support. Let me actually pop this window out because I do not want it to just like pop open my file browser on mainstream. It just seems like a bad idea. All right. Okay, I'll select a file. And let's see. Didn't pop open. What happened? Let's find out. So we had a upload that didn't propagate. Why didn't it propagate? Some sort of state here is not being appropriately set. So let's check. Oh, right. Okay, so this falls into the other problem I previously discussed about like certain errors not showing up like they should. That was actually just too big of a file. Let me pick a different file. Okay. Nope, that still failed. Okay, so we're going to look into why. Not getting a warning or an error about this, so that's very interesting. So we set the stickers. This happens on file upload, so my guess is something about the uploaded file is not being appropriately set. Oh, yeah, right there, duh. Set emojis. Okay, let's fix that. Okay, we'll save that, and there we go. Okay, so now it's showing up. All right, so now we have a sticker that is put in place, and we can save that. Great, now we've saved it. How do we actually surface it? So now we got to add the ability to send a message that is a sticker. And that would be under the channel itself because the editor component is there. So by the way, I'm not a React master. Like I do okay with it, but I'm not like super great at it. So if somebody wants to refactor this, please do. Okay, So we have a button here, and this is what I'm actually going to want to copy. Yeah, more components. That's literally what we need. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and push this over, I guess, by 12. Well, we'll definitely fix it if it's wrong, but in this case, I'm going to just go ahead and submit the message as is, for the sake of simply demonstrating how it works. Okay, and so in here we'll submit the channel message, and this is going to be, let me make sure that we have the appropriate, should just be, yeah, okay, it's checking to see if it's on. Okay, cool. So here we're going to set this to sticker message. And this will be the current pass, whoops, current. Do I not have it that way? Oh, user. Okay. Sender ID, the, what are the properties I'm missing? Type sticker, sticker ID. Do we have the space in place? And then, what's the last component? Replies to message ID. We'll just omit that for now. Okay, cool. So now we have this in place to send a message. And then we need some kind of icon. And we just use Font Awesome. We will likely eventually have our own icon set, but we just use Font Awesome for now. Let's do smile. Okay, now we have this in place. That's not centered. Let's fix that. Also, I always struggle with Tailwind because I forget which one's which. Like, what's the... There we go. Okay, it's now centered. All right, so you can see, actually, yeah, you can see it on the broadcast. You can see this button. I hit this, it'll pick the first and send it. If it actually exists. Let's make sure that that actually is the case. Oh, I still have an if there. Let's get rid of that. I don't have a pending message. There's no point to do that. Okay, now let's try it. Okay, so now we have an error of an invalid message type, and that is on MessageDB. So now we'll go over to MessageDB, and this is the second half of what I was talking about, where we support different types. So let's go ahead and look at submit channel message. Look at the pending message object. We have canonicalize, which checks to see these specific types. We'll add sticker message, and then we need to actually handle that sticker message. And once we've done that, we have basically everything we need. So oh, we don't need that because that actually gets incorporated for everyone. Sticker ID. Okay, and for this, we will consolidate into this if it doesn't exist. All right, QM, QN, and Win2O are all the icons we need. Oh, and Win2.1. Yeah, probably. Those would be fun icons to add. Okay, so now we have that. And let me make sure that there's, oh, right. So this is the other side, handling protocol messages. We're not just canonicalizing, we also have to actually handle them directly. So in the process of adding a message to a given channel, it's all the way up here, handle new message, we then invoke add message and save message. Save message puts it in the DB, add message puts it in the memory cache. Okay. So once we do that, we have handlers for the specific type message. In this case, we can't deal with the defaults. So we will have to... Man, where did that go? Actually, no, we can deal with the default because that type doesn't have anything special to handle about it. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just let it handle the default case. But if you did have a message type that needs to be explicitly handled, this is where you would change it. Okay, now let's save the message. Okay, so it didn't render. Now we need to figure out why it didn't render. Oh, very simple. Do we have, oh, this is not the right one. Do we have this value? So let's take the, let's go ahead and just log it out to see what it says. Actually, let's log the entire stickers object. And it says undefined. Ah, that's the reason. Okay, so it's simply because we didn't pass it in. That's simple. So we'll go to channel, actually no, we'll go to message list, and then under the message object, we need the stickers. And that doesn't exist yet, so we need to pass it through. And then from there, we go to the channel. And wherever that message list component is. I literally just passed by it, yeah. And the last thing is we also need to make it optional. Okay. So now here we will have stickers and then space stickers. But we can't actually do that directly. What we need to do is we need to have a memoized component or a memoized function to evaluate the stickers so that it creates a key value mapping. All right, now we have assigned the stickers, and there it is. And that's all it takes. And so now this button should just start posting stickers mercilessly. And so we need a component to actually select it out so that it's a fully fleshed feature, but that's how easy it is to add features to Quorum. And the moment that's rolled out, that's supported on any refreshed browser or updated desktop or mobile application. So this is something that's also going to be a very valuable factor for teams that want to have specialized features. If there's something that your space wants to do that isn't in mainline Quorum, Quorum is open source. You can fork it, and then you can run it on your own individualized basis. And of course, if you'd like to, please submit a PR back. And that's basically the gist of how this works. And this is kind of one of the powerful things about Equilibrium's overall architecture is these things start to actually become surfaced in ways that compose naturally. So when you have an application and a new feature gets added to Equilibrium, you can potentially supercharge that application. One of the examples that we posted about the other day was the fact that we have MPC wallet capabilities because of our KMS service that's going to be launching in a couple days. That KMS service can be used by anybody, whether it's a wallet as a service provider or Quorum itself to embed a wallet for DAOs to operate such that they can manage funds in a jointly controlled fashion in a group chat. That's a very powerful thing. So that basically wraps everything up. I would like to revisit real quick